Mustangs, welcome to your Tuesday edition of the Daily Update. I'm Kate Mcleod. Let's get to the news. COVID case numbers in the nation are rapidly on the rise. That story tops today's Mustang Minute. More than a dozen U.S. states are reporting record numbers of coronavirus hospitalizations. Within the last week, cases have skyrocketed, as the U.S. has not seen levels like this since the summer. Average daily new COVID cases were above 58,000 as of Monday. Health officials warn of a difficult fall and winter season, as cases are expected to rise. Nationwide, COVID cases surpassed 8 million, and deaths have risen to more than 219,000. CVS is hiring 15,000 workers to help prepare for flu season and an anticipated second wave of COVID-19. The bulk of the new positions will help administer COVID-19 tests and vaccines, if one becomes available. Health officials have warned that the winter months could bring spikes in COVID cases, and CVS wants to be prepared. SMU kicked off homecoming week with the 100th annual Rock the Vote Spirit Pep Rally in Ford Stadium. The event was hosted by Student Foundation to introduce the homecoming candidates. Student Foundation members made sure everyone was masked and socially distanced in the stands. Each of the candidates were cheered on, having the opportunity to earn points and showcase themselves for their representative organizations.
We are just so excited to bring the SMU community together for the Centennial Homecoming. It's a really special year, and we're just excited to celebrate SMU, all of the alum, and all of these students this week.
SMU is celebrating homecoming this week with several events planned for the weekend, including the SMU football team hosting Cincinnati Saturday night. At least 26 Boulder County homes in Colorado are destroyed after the Calwood fires scorched the area. The blaze is the largest wildfire in Boulder County history and has burned over 9,000 acres so far. The fire is 17% contained, but firefighters are getting a handle on the blaze. A large 7.5 magnitude earthquake shakes part of the Alaska Peninsula. The earthquake caused a small tsunami and prompted evacuation orders for the area. Police advised residents in lower elevations to head to higher ground until warnings were lifted. Tsunami warnings have been canceled for parts of Alaska and the state of Hawaii, and no damage has been reported. New lockdown measures in Europe and unrest in Thailand. Those stories and more are in this week's World News for World Changers report with SMU-TV's Brooklee Han.
Hi Mustangs, welcome to World News for World Changers. I'm Brooklee Han, and here are your global headlines. The coronavirus pandemic is taking off again in Europe. The continent set a new record for COVID-19 infections, nearly 700,000 in 7 days, overtaking the United States in cases per capita. To combat the rising infection rate, countries are enacting new lockdown measures. In the United Kingdom, a 3-tier ranking system has been introduced, allowing officials to rank various regions and impose the correct safety measures. London was upgraded to Tier 2 this past week, meaning that residents are banned from socializing with other households in an indoor setting. In France, President Emmanuel Macron has reimposed a state of emergency and announced a 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew for residents in Paris and other major metropolitan areas. Thailand is under a severe state of emergency after demonstrators calling for the resignation of the Prime Minister and an end to the monarchy approached the King's motorcade. The student-led protest movement began earlier this year but was brought to a halt by the pandemic, only to erupt again in mid-July. This demonstrators' core demands include the dissolution of the legislature, an end to the intimidation of the people, and the drafting of a new constitution. These have been the largest demonstrations since the 2014 coup d'etat, and it is the first time protesters have openly criticized the monarchy. Fighting between Armenia and Azerbaijan over the disputed territory of Nagorno-Karabakh is entering its 4th week. This comes after an October 10th ceasefire agreement fell through. Nagorno-Karabakh is formally part of Azerbaijan, however it is home to a majority of ethnic Armenians. Since 1994, the region and surrounding areas have been under the control of the ethnic Armenians, resulting in the expulsion of hundreds of thousands of Azerbaijanis. Despite international pressures to observe the ceasefire, it does not appear either side is willing to end the conflict. The Great Barrier Reef coral communities are in danger. Researchers in Australia found that between 1995 and 2017, the number of small, medium, and large-sized corals has fallen over 50%. The study found that record water temperatures in 2016 and 2017 triggered mass bleaching events, severely damaging the reef. The decline in large corals, such as the staghorn and table corals, is most alarming, as it is a major threat to the reef's ability to repair itself. The European Union is opposing sanctions on 6 top Russian officials over their alleged involvement in the poisoning of opposition activist Alexei Navalny. The sanctioned officials will be subject to travel bans and asset freezes. This comes after experts concluded that Navalny had been targeted with a Novichok nerve agent on a flight between Tomsk and Moscow in August. Navalny was then transported to Germany, where he currently remains. And that's the news from around the globe. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.
Thanks, Brooklee, and that's your Mustang Minute.
Without this, I wouldn't be able to kind of have this exposure, have that ability to express myself artistically.
The Meadows Jazz Orchestra is a group of musicians that, spans the kind of the whole of SMU. Everyone's not a music major. We have people that are, architects and in business school.
People that are musicians that want to become a part of the group, really just talk to Professor Horn.
Learn more about how to join and about upcoming performances at facebook.com/Meadows Jazz Orchestra.
Hey Mustangs, make sure to get outside this week because the weather is looking beautiful. Tuesday will be partly cloudy with a high of 87 degrees and a low of 69. We'll continue to see warmer, sunny temperatures as Wednesday and Thursday's high will be 87 degrees. Friday will cool off a bit. The high will be 77 degrees and a low in the lower 50s. Saturday will be a bit cooler with highs in the upper 60s and a low of 62. That's your 5-day forecast, Mustangs. I'm Lily Arabi.
You're my best buddy and I'm your best buddy, right?
Everyone deserves a great friend, and I think it's just a really good opportunity to meet these wonderful people that just have the purest of hearts.
Best Buddies is a nonprofit that partners with the intellectually disabled community to promote personal development. Our program is all about other people. Our students don't really get as much out of it as the people that are involved with it.
For more information, visit facebook.com/SMU Best Buddies.
SMU seniors' support for the presidential candidates is catching the eyes of Dallas residents, along with people across the internet. The SMU students' politically decorated house has gone viral. Decorations for the students' house is divided down the middle, with half the house draped in Joe Biden merchandise and the other half decked out for President Trump. The students' house in the Lower Greenville neighborhood has caused a lot of people to stop and stare. While the house is divided by the signage, the Mustangs who live here aren't. They just enjoy the debate election time brings. And don't forget to cast your vote for the presidential election, which is in 2 weeks on November 3rd. Well, that's all we have for you today, Mustangs. Remember, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/SMU-television and follow us on Twitter at SMU-TV. If you have any story ideas, shoot us an email, SMU-TV@smu.edu. Thanks for watching this Tuesday edition of the Daily Update. Tune in Wednesday for more news from the Hilltop. Until then, have a great day and pony up.
SMU-TV and the Division of Journalism want to thank our underwriters, North Park Center in Dallas, Javier's Gourmet Mexicano on Cole Avenue, and Advance ER off West Lovers Lane. We appreciate your support of student media.